Bonjour mes amis. Today I am in Inishbofin, Ireland. I am so far from Paris. I am in the opposite of Paris today and it's absolutely beautiful. And I'm here on probably one of the sunniest days that they've had this spring in Ireland. So I'm definitely gonna get burned because half of my genes are Irish and I'm already feeling it. But it's absolutely beautiful. Let me show you what I'm looking at. So I got a cheap flight from Paris to Dublin. I spent a day in Dublin and then I took a train from Dublin to Galway and then took a bus from Galway to Cleggan, which is over there, which has the ferry that brought me here. So in total it took me a little over 7 hours from Dublin to here. I'm here in Inishbofin. Inishbofin is an island off the coast of Ireland. It's still Ireland, but pretty much the farthest west point of Ireland, and it's absolutely lovely. The reason that I'm here is because this is the island that part of my Irish genes came from. My great-grandmother, Ellen King, grew up here on this island, and her family has a home here on the island that has been turned into a hostel, actually, and that's the hostel that I'm staying at. So I'm staying in the house that my great-grandmother grew up in. And here are some facts that I've learned about Inishbofin since I've been here. Population 160. There are 12 kids enrolled in the only primary school here on Inishbofin, and there's actually no school past primary school. And once you've aged out of primary school, actually, you have to go to school on the mainland. And some kids actually move in with other families in order to continue their schooling on the mainland, actually. And the only way to get to this island is by ferry, and the ferry only leaves 2 times a day, in the morning and in the evening. There's no grocery stores on the island. All the grocery shopping is done on the mainland. Earlier today, I went into the gift shop / museum of Inishbofin and was able to talk with a woman who she's actually a distant cousin of mine, and she has a whole family tree project. She's mapped out all the families that came here from Inishbofin, and she let me go through and add my generation of my sister and I and my cousins on my dad's side into the family tree. So now we're all in there. She asked me about my family and was able to show me my entire family tree and the descendants that came from this island, and it's been really, really cool. So Ellen King, my great-grandmother, grew up here on this island. She was born in 1893. She was the daughter of Simon King, and when she was 17 in 1910, she left Inishbofin and immigrated through Ellis Island and lived in New York. She found her husband in New York, who was also Irish, and then lived in New York City, which is fascinating for me to think about because I'm here in this island where the population's 160 people, and granted 100 years ago there were more people here, but not 1,000, not even 1,000 people, and moved from here to New York City, and that's just crazy. That's all I can think about while I'm here. It's like a different planet, and I really wonder what she thought of New York when she moved to New York City, because it couldn't be more different. I'm gonna have to go home and ask my Nana more about this since I've been here now. I've been told that right around the corner from where I am, there's some really big cliffs. So I'm gonna get back on my bike that I rented for the day, and bike over to the other side of this hill to hopefully see some of those cliffs that people have been talking about. So on this trip, I'm not going to make it to the Cliffs of Moher, which is the big one that most tour groups go to, but I really think that I got the better end of the deal because there are some big, beautiful cliffs on this island, and I am the only human here. There's no one here. I was recently just outnumbered by some sheep that approached me. There was like 6 of them, and I scared them away, but I am the only person here. There's no one for at least a mile or 2. This is unbelievable. I'm definitely getting sunburned. My cheeks are already red. God, what's the irony? I'm getting sunburnt in Ireland. update on the sheep thing. Apparently those sheep that I just came across abandoned one of their friends. You can probably hear him. He's alone and he's up on the cliff up here, and they went back toward the mainland. Oh no, I'm trying to tell him. I'm trying to like reason with this sheep and tell him that his friends are over there. But he's looking for them and he's not listening to me. Maybe he speaks Gaelic. I don't know any Gaelic. Don't worry, he found some other friends over on this side. I've been out on this cliff for almost 2 hours and I better get heading back before I get any more burnt, and I have to return this bike. So with that, I will leave you with some scenic views from Inishbofin.